Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Rasharn with A Look Inside. Today I want to talk about trauma. Trauma is a interesting subject because there's this thin line that, in my opinion, we should strive to meet and keep in balance, where we don't go too far to the left and succumb to our traumas and basically be trapped by our traumas, limited by our traumas, and not able to progress in life in the way that we want to. Basically being forced into a state of inaction. And on the other end, we don't want to go too far to the right and ignore our traumas and basically try to act as if we are already, that there's nothing wrong with us and that we can just go out and conquer the world. And to an extent we can do those things, but if we haven't dealt with those traumas we have, the traumas will find a way of showing up in our lives in one way or another along our path and journey. So to me, that being in the middle and having balance to say, okay, I'm going to acknowledge this trauma. I'm going to see if I can set aside time to analyze it, address it, hopefully heal it, and then still being able to move forward so that we don't fall into a place of permanent victimhood, but we don't also stray off into willful ignorance of the things that we have been through and the things that make up our story. So trauma to me is very important. It can affect so many areas of our lives. It can affect our social life. It can affect our sexual life. It can affect our family life, our community life, our careers. It can affect all sorts of different things. So if we're in the state of inaction, for example, and it's affecting our careers, that could lead to lower productivity. That could lead to or maybe it could lead to us overworking, in our careers. And basically, on the other end, if we ignore that stuff, let's say we're in a state of basically like too much action, and we haven't healed the trauma, and it's affecting our family life. This could result in us trying to be, all up in everyone's business, like a little too much. Like we're checking up on other people in our family more than we're checking in on ourselves, as an example. So those are a couple of ways that trauma can basically take us out of balance if we're not conscious of what's happening. So that's what I have for today. You can think about things that you've been through, how things may have been before the trauma, and then if you can note the correlation of how you started acting different after the trauma occurred, then that could be very beneficial, and that can lead to some healing, possibly, with the right person to facilitate that, or if you're able to do it yourself, even better. And then from there, you basically expand your life, and you can do greater things in the world than you may have done prior to addressing that trauma. So yeah, take the time to think over that. Maybe get some insight from people that are close to you, that know about the things that you've been through, and they may be able to give you some perspective on those things as well, or highlight some things that you may not have been aware of when it comes to things you've been through. Or they may be able to say, oh yeah, your personality changed after that one incident, after that car accident, after that, the death in the family, after that abusive situation, whatever the thing was. So I just wanted to speak to that for people that are seeking to make improvements in their lives that are permanent and that are expansive. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have a great week. This is Rasharn with A Look Inside.